I'm Patricia Cota-Robles, and I'm honored to share this special time with you. After the birth of the new earth and the ascension into the initial impulses of the fifth dimension, which took place during the December solstice in 2012, the light of God increased on earth, and humanity's miscreations began surfacing at a greatly accelerated pace. In order to prevent this intensified purging process from causing more harm than good, the Company of Heaven said that the new frequencies of the fifth dimension were being encoded in ways that would empower every person's I Am presence to transmute the surfacing negativity from humanity's past much more quickly. All of us have spent lifetimes preparing to be in the physical plane during this tumultuous but wondrous time. Since the birth of the new earth in 2012, the awakening of humanity has accelerated in ways we have not previously experienced. The divine intent of our mission is for us to help awaken our sisters and brothers who are still asleep and unable to transmute their human miscreations for themselves just yet. There is no way that our I Am presence is going to just let us give up on this vitally important part of our divine plan. So giving up is not an option. At least not an option that we can endure happily. Today, the Company of Heaven is reminding all of us that we are never alone, and that regardless of how isolated we feel or how limited our perception might be, the truth is we are multidimensional beings, and we are powerful beyond our knowing. It is true that it greatly empowers our light work when we are able to gather together physically with other people for our invocations, meditations, prayers, and activities of light. And we should do that whenever we can. But there are also powerful ways we can join together in consciousness when we are not able to be together physically. Remember, we are one with every other person on earth, and there is no separation. We often hear or say those words, but the beings of light want us to grasp the magnitude of what those words really mean. Quite literally, the statement "we are one" means that every person on earth is interrelated, interconnected, and interdependent with every other person on earth. That is true whether we are aware of it or not on a conscious level. In other words, there is no such thing as us and them. What the beings of light want us to know is that even if this truth is difficult for us to comprehend with our finite mind, our I Am presence is absolutely aware of this fact. Our I Am presence knows that in order for us to invoke the light of God on behalf of every other person on earth during our invocations, meditations, prayers, and activities of light, all we have to do is align with our own I Am presence and then affirm that we are also one with the I Am presence of every other person. This can be easily accomplished by simply saying, "I am my I Am presence, and I am one with the I Am presence of every person on earth." Archangel Michael has demonstrated to me that once we make that statement, instantaneously, our I Am Presence sends a signal to the I Am Presence of each of the 8 billion sons and daughters of God evolving on earth. This signal from our I Am Presence alerts every person's I Am Presence that someone is invoking the light of God on their behalf. With this knowing, every person's I Am Presence stands in readiness to receive that light. In that instant, we shift from being the microcosm of one person's I Am Presence receiving the light of God on earth to being the macrocosm of 8 billion people's I Am Presences receiving the light of God on earth. When we affirm that we are one with the I Am Presence of another person and invoke the light of God on their behalf, that person's I Am Presence knows exactly how to use that light in perfect alignment with the person's divine plan and their highest good. We do not need to figure out just what their divine plan is, or worry that we may be interfering with their divine plan by trying to force our own will on them. Their I Am Presence would never allow that to happen. Simply by affirming that we are one with the person's I Am Presence and that we are invoking the light of God on their behalf, the person's I Am Presence is given permission by our Father, Mother, God to go into action and to utilize the light we are invoking in ways that are in perfect alignment with their highest good and their divine plan. The company of heaven has assured us that this simple process increases the light of God on earth in unfathomable ways. They said that if we will simultaneously invoke the violet flame of God's infinite perfection to transmute into light the human miscreations that are being pushed to the surface all over the world to be healed and restored to their original perfection, we will transmute literally lifetimes worth of negativity. The beings of light said, with the violet flame, this purging will be accomplished in what will be perceived as the twinkling of an eye, compared to the eons of time we have been buried in our painful miscreations. The violet flame of God's infinite perfection is the perfect balance of our Father God's sapphire blue flame of God's will and power, and our Mother God's crystalline pink flame of comprehensive divine love. The violet flame is one of the 12 fifth-dimensional crystalline solar aspects of deity. 2018 was numerically an 11 year, which energetically reflected the transfiguration from the physical into the divine. At that time, the company of heaven said a shift of energy, vibration, and consciousness was occurring on earth through the light work of awakening humanity and the company of heaven that was clearing the way for the next miraculous phase of Earth's ascension process. That facet of the divine plan involved the activation of the consciousness codes within the DNA of the holy innocents. This included the vast majority of people who were born on Earth after harmonic convergence in 1987. The beings of light said that in order for the I Am presence of these souls to be able to activate the consciousness codes within their DNA, they needed to transcend the dense carbon-based frequencies of their third-dimensional earthly bodies. To assist with that process, month by month, lightworkers were guided through activities of light that enabled the I Am presence of every person on earth to greatly and gradually raise the frequency of our carbon-based earthly bodies. This process built in momentum, day by day, until we reached the anniversary of harmonic convergence in August of 2018. At that time, our Father, Mother, God, and lightworkers around the world orchestrated a global activity of light that catapulted not only the holy innocents, but every person on earth into the highest frequencies of our fifth dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies that we could safely withstand at that time. This created the sacred space that allowed the I Am presence of the incoming babies, the children, and the teenagers and young people known as Generation Z and the Millennials to activate the consciousness codes in their DNA. This activation took place in perfect alignment with each one's divine plan and the highest good for all concerned. The events of 2018 greatly accelerated the divine alchemy that had been gently transfiguring humanity's third-dimensional carbon-based earthly bodies into our fifth-dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. In 2019, the Company of Heaven continued this process by guiding us through several activities of light intended to prepare every person at an atomic cellular level to receive even higher frequencies of fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light in preparation for the quantum shift we would experience with the birth of the new decade, 2020. These activities of light began with very powerful violet flame cleansing and purging activities, not only within humanity, but within the elemental kingdom and Mother Earth's bodies as well. Following the violet flame activity, the directors of the elements assisted each person's I Am presence and the intelligence within our earthly bodies, known as our body elemental, to recalibrate the cellular structures of our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies to safely receive higher frequencies of fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light. Our Father, Mother, God, and the Company of Heaven have assured us that the more fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth are able to assimilate into our third-dimensional carbon-based earthly bodies, the more gentle the essential purging process that we are now experiencing will be. This purging process includes the horrific things humanity has inflicted on our earthly bodies and the elemental kingdom. These things are now manifesting as disease, inclement weather conditions, and various other challenges associated with climate change. To remind us of just how important the divine alchemy we are all experiencing is, we need to remember that the atrocities we have inflicted on our earthly bodies, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth, since our fall from grace, cannot be sustained in the full embrace of the fifth dimensional crystalline solar light associated with the new earth. This means that once we complete our ascension into the fifth dimensional frequencies of the new earth, we will have permanently transmuted into light the negative energy and the toxic substances that have polluted the earth and contaminated our earthly bodies, causing aging, disease, decay, degeneration, and every other physical malady. Today, the mighty Elohim and the directors of the elements would like to guide our I Am presences through the next step of the divine alchemy that the sons and daughters of God on earth are capable of receiving in our earthly bodies. During this activity of light, these messengers of God will assist our I Am presence and our body elemental to assimilate and integrate the most powerful frequencies of fifth dimensional crystalline solar light that we are capable of receiving at an atomic cellular level. This is a powerful step in the process of transfiguring our carbon-based planetary bodies into fifth dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. All we have to do to receive the full benefit of this gift from on high is to allow our I Am presence and our fifth dimensional body elemental to download these fifth dimensional crystalline solar light patterns into the core of purity in every electron of our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. By the December solstice in 2019, humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth were vibrating with the highest frequencies of the fifth dimension we had experienced up to that time. That prepared all life evolving on this planet at a cellular level for the quantum shift our Father, Mother God, and the company of heaven revealed that humanity and all life on earth would experience as we birthed the life-transforming new decade of 2020 to 2030. This decade was birthed in the full embrace of a very powerful eclipse series that began on December 25th, 2019, with a new moon solar eclipse, and was brought to fruition with a full moon lunar eclipse on January 11th, 2020. As we entered the new decade, we were assured by our Father, Mother God, and the company of heaven that during the next 10 years, humanity will change the course of history for Mother Earth and all her life. The information flowing forth from the realms of illumined truth revealed that during this decade, humanity will begin developing our latent abilities through which we will literally transfigure our earthly bodies and our outer world life experiences into the heart-based patterns of perfection associated with the fifth dimensional new earth. They also revealed that because of the tenacity and the dedication of lightworkers around the world, a cosmic dispensation was being granted that will allow the company of heaven to collaborate with awakening humanity in ways that have never before been attempted in any system of worlds. The company of heaven said that unusual facet of Earth's ascension process was being co-created through the free will choices that people were making day to day. Those choices were determining how this apparent global pandemic would evolve and what life would be like on Earth after it was over. That meant that not even the company of heaven knew exactly what the result of that phase of humanity's learning experiences would be. The one thing our Father, Mother, God assured us during the planetary pause is that nothing would be going back to what we used to think of as normal. The obsolete paradigms based in greed, corruption, and the abuse of power were being exposed and dismantled. We were told that no matter how hard the old guard and those with dark agendas struggled to hold on to power and the status quo, their efforts would be futile and they would fail. Every day during the planetary pause, the individual and collective free will choices people made determined how long this process would take and whether we would bring this facet of the divine plan to completion the easy way or the hard way. Either way, the company of heaven assured us that Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her are moving forward in the light, and there is no turning back. The positive effect of this planetary pause is that the vast majority of humanity was forced to stop everything and just be. This unusual quiet time allowed the I Am presence of every person to accelerate the awakening process and to more tangibly communicate with us on an intuitive level. This affected all of us in positive ways, whether we were consciously aware of it or not at the time. Even the essential workers who did not have the luxury of staying home benefited from the planetary pause in powerful ways. Their sacrifices drew the attention of the masses of humanity, and people opened their hearts in appreciation for the service these precious souls were rendering to all of us. Their service is something that many people had previously just taken for granted. People began realizing in new ways that we are all in this together and that we need each other very much. This realization cleared the space for the I Am presence of every person to remind us once again that we are one and that there is no separation. As days and weeks passed, the company of heaven revealed to us the awesome divine intervention occurring through the unified efforts of heaven and earth. People everywhere invoked the light of God and prayed for healing and compassion as they witnessed their loved ones and people around the world suffering and dying. Through these heart-based invocations, the mass consciousness of humanity was elevated to new levels. Lightworkers around the world finally had the time to orchestrate virtual online events which greatly added to the light of the world. That influx of light helped to recalibrate humanity's earthly bodies and accelerated the divine alchemy taking place within humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth. As 2020 came to a close, lightworkers participated in the December solstice and a rare celestial alignment that assisted Mother Earth and all her life to transcend the painful vestiges of the crumbling oppressive structures from the old earth that have controlled and manipulated humanity for eons of time. That celestial alignment is known as the Great Conjunction and involves the planets Jupiter and Saturn. That conjunction takes place every 20 years, but in 2020, the closeness of the two planets and certain other aspects of the conjunction made it a very rare event. It was heralded as a once-in-a-lifetime show, with only about 1/10 of a degree separating the two planets. It was the closest great conjunction in nearly 400 years. The Great Conjunction occurs when Jupiter and Saturn align at the same degree of the zodiac. In 2020, during the solstice on December 21st, Jupiter and Saturn aligned in the air sign of Aquarius. That alignment took place at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which represented infinite potential and limitless possibilities. The beings of light said the solstice and the Great Conjunction taking place at the same time during the inception of this new decade created an extraordinary opportunity for humanity en masse to co-create a tremendous shift in our collective worldview and our individual and collective visions for the new earth. The earth is now in the full embrace of the Age of Aquarius. The Great Conjunction aligning at 0 degrees in the air sign of Aquarius created a unique opportunity for the I Am presence of every son and daughter of God evolving on earth to permanently elevate our holy breath. This allowed each of us to begin receiving higher frequencies of prana and our life force with every breath we take. The company of heaven said there are not words to describe the magnitude of the degree to which our elevated holy breath will empower our efforts as we unify our hearts and minds in the process of co-creating the patterns of perfection for the new earth. With higher frequencies of prana and our life force being inhaled and exhaled with every holy breath, we now have the ability to breathe more powerful frequencies of fifth dimensional crystalline solar light through our heart flames than ever before. This exquisite light pulsates with what is known as the 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar aspects of deity. These are the divine qualities of God that we will use to co-create the patterns of perfection for the new earth. The more we focus on these aspects of deity, the more powerful they will become in our earthly experiences, and the easier it will be for us to utilize this light to co-create the heart-based patterns of perfection for the new earth. With the success of the divine alchemy that has occurred within our earthly bodies since the birth of the new decade, the frequency of the 12 fifth dimensional crystalline solar aspects of deity has been intensified. These aspects of deity now pulsate with new color spectrums, fragrances, cosmic tones, geometric patterns, and harmonic pulsations beyond anything humanity en masse has ever been able to receive or even comprehend. We are being told by the beings of light that a new level of divine intervention is rising in consciousness and lifting the collective consciousness of humanity in ways that will open the door for every person to receive on a far more conscious level new insights, viable solutions, positive thought forms, and ideas that will assist us in our divine missions of transfiguring our lives and co-creating the new earth.